Do you want to get rich? I'm not talking about the get-rich-quick schemes you hear about. I'm talking about real, sustainable wealth. The kind that lasts, the kind you can build with your own hands and mind. It's within your reach, but there's a key difference between those who make it and those who don't. Action. In this video, I'm going to share with you the real steps you need to take to transform your financial future. It's not about luck. It's not about waiting for the right opportunity. It's about taking control of your skills, your mindset, and your choices. You've probably heard that money doesn't grow on trees, but I'm going to show you how to create your own tree and how to make it grow strong. Stick around, because what you'll hear today could change your financial life forever. Are you ready to take action? Let's get started. Number 1, take control of your money with daily discipline. You're not broke because of the money you make. You're broke because of how you treat money when it shows up. That's the truth. Nobody tells you when you're starting out. People keep looking for bigger paychecks, but never stop to fix their habits. If you want to get rich, the very first step is not a raise, not a better job, not a lucky break. It's daily discipline. It's how you manage every single dollar that comes into your life. That's where wealth begins. Not with luck, but with control. Now, I understand the world makes it easy to feel powerless around money. Bills pile up, needs stretch further than income. Pressure from family, friends, even society. It wears you down. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. And if you don't control your money will control you. One of the worst feelings in life is waking up tired, working all day, and still not knowing where your money went. I've seen people earn thousands a month and still feel like they're drowning. That's not a money problem. That's a discipline problem. You want to know the moment things start changing? It's when you begin to tell your money what to do. You don't just spend, you decide. Every single day. You track every cent. Not because it's fun, not because it's easy, but because every time you take control, you are building the mindset of a rich person. The poor wait for the next paycheck. The rich plan for the next opportunity. The rich think long term. And that starts with discipline today, not tomorrow. Discipline means sitting down with yourself and being honest. How much did you spend this week? Was it necessary? Was it emotional? Did it move you closer to the life you want, or just make you feel better for a moment? You'd be shocked how many people spend years trying to earn more, instead of learning how to keep what they already have. And they stay stuck in that loop. Paycheck after paycheck, year after year. Because nobody ever told them you don't fix a hole in your bucket by pouring more water. You fix it by patching the hole. You need to start today, not next month, not after you pay off the next bill. Today. You need a notebook, a pen, and brutal honesty. Every expense gets written down, not just the big ones, all of them. That coffee, that online subscription, that late night impulse buy. When you see it on paper, it changes how you feel. It hits differently, because now you're not guessing. You're facing reality, and reality gives you power. You can't improve what you don't measure. Now here's the next thing. You must create a plan and stick to it. And I'm not talking about some perfect, rigid budget. I'm talking about setting limits that honor your goals. You set how much you'll spend. You decide how much you'll save. You don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left. You plan at the start, because discipline is not reactive. It's proactive. The rich don't stumble into savings. They prioritize it. They put it first, and they protect it daily. I've met people who told me they couldn't save even $10 a week. But those same people had a cable bill, a streaming subscription, a gym membership they never used, and fast food 4 times a week. I'm not judging them. I've been there, but I had to wake up to a hard truth. You can't afford everything when you're trying to build wealth. You have to make sacrifices. Not forever. Just until you've built the life where your money finally works for you, not against you. There's no emotion like regret. And when you look back 10 years from now, the only question will be, did you start or did you wait? That's it. There are no secrets to wealth. There's just action. The discipline to show up daily and control your choices. Because every small decision compounds. One skipped expense becomes $20 saved. That 20 becomes 100. That 100 gets invested. That investment grows. And now you're not chasing wealth. It's being built silently by your discipline. Most people hate this part because it feels slow. They want the big leap, the magic formula, the sudden success. But that's not how wealth works. You don't get rich overnight. You get rich by not wasting your nights. You use your evenings to check your budget. You review your progress weekly. You challenge yourself to spend less, save more, earn smarter. And every time you choose discipline over distraction, you move forward. You know what else happens when you live with discipline? You start to feel powerful. You stop being a victim of your finances. You feel calm when unexpected expenses hit, because you prepared. You feel proud when you save money and don't touch it. You stop chasing what's shiny and focus on what's real. You don't need the newest phone or the flashiest outfit. You need peace. You need control. You need freedom. And that comes from discipline. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being smart. You can still enjoy your life. You can still have fun. But now you're doing it with awareness. You're intentional. You're in charge. You're not buying to escape. You're spending on what matters. And that is the beginning of wealth. Because money isn't just numbers. It's a reflection of your habits. And when your habits change, your life changes. The truth is, most people don't want discipline. They want comfort. But comfort is what keeps them stuck. If you can push through the discomfort of saying no today, you'll experience the joy of freedom tomorrow. That's a trade worth making. That's how real wealth is built. Not just in the bank account, but in the mind, in your character, in the daily decisions nobody sees. So today is the day you take back control. You decide that your money will no longer own you. You will own it. You'll tell it where to go. You'll decide what it's for. And you'll never again leave your future to chance. Wealth begins with a choice. Make that choice now. Stay consistent. Stay honest. And watch your life change from the inside out. Discipline is the first door. Open it and walk through it. Everything you want is on the other side. Number 2, build one income stream and make it consistent. You will never escape struggle until you build something that pays you every single day. That's the line in the sand. That's the moment your life changes. When you stop depending on chance, favors, or paychecks you can't control and start depending on what you create. You want to get rich? Stop chasing everything and build one solid income stream that works for you, grows with you, and stands strong, whether life cooperates or not. Because until you do that, you're not free. You're surviving. Most people stay broke, not because they're lazy, but because they spread themselves too thin. They try to do everything at once. They want 5 incomes, 10 businesses, 3 side hustles, all in one go. And what happens? Nothing gets built. Everything stays half done. They stay stuck in the same place, year after year, calling it trying. But there's no reward for trying. You don't get paid for effort. You get paid for execution, for completion, for mastery. The truth is, one solid income stream is enough to change your life. If it's real, if it's consistent, and if you've built it with focus and discipline. I've seen people go from broke to comfortable, and from comfortable to wealthy, all from one single thing they committed to, improved daily, and refused to quit on. Not because they were lucky, because they were focused. They picked a lane, and they stayed in it until it paid off. You've got to choose something and own it. If it's selling a product, then become the best at that. If it's providing a service, do it with excellence. If it's creating content, show up daily and get better with every post. If it's a job that pays well, then become so good they can't ignore you and start stacking cash until you can invest in something more scalable. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's real, needed, and you're consistent. Because consistency is the magic. Not hype, not trends, not chasing what's hot. Most people give up before anything even starts working. They put in 2 weeks and expect miracles. When it doesn't blow up, they quit. They say it's not working. No, you're not working. You're not staying long enough to see the reward. Everything worthwhile takes time to build. You can't microwave a fortune. You've got to build it, brick by brick, day by day, sacrifice by sacrifice. That's the path nobody wants to walk. But that's the only path that leads to something real. The truth is, life respects those who commit. It rewards the focused. It gives power to the consistent. When you show up every day, rain or shine, tired or motivated, excited or discouraged, something inside you starts to grow. You develop character. You build credibility with yourself. And that is priceless. Because when you trust yourself, you become dangerous. You stop hesitating. You stop doubting. You stop waiting. You start building. And you don't stop. If you're trying to build wealth, the first income stream you create is your foundation. Don't chase 10 ideas. Don't waste time switching every time things feel hard. Find one thing that solves a real problem for people. Get obsessed with it. Learn it inside out. Practice it. Sell it. Improve it. Make it so strong, so consistent, so dependable, that it becomes your base. Then and only then should you even think about building something else. One of the biggest lies people believe is that you need multiple streams of income to get rich. That's false. You need one strong stream first. Multiple streams only matter if one of them is already solid. Otherwise, you're just juggling broken ideas. One working stream of income can pay for your rent, your investments, your growth, and your freedom. But you've got to build it like your life depends on it, because it does. You have to stop living in reaction mode. Most people are always reacting to bills, reacting to emergencies, reacting to the market. They have no power because they never built a base. If you don't have one solid stream of income, you're always in defense mode. But the moment you build one, you shift to offense. You stop begging life to be easier and start demanding more from yourself. That's when momentum kicks in. Let me tell you what building one stream really means. It means waking up earlier. It means shutting off distractions. It means being uncomfortable longer than most people are willing. It means doing the same thing over and over and over until it starts working. It means saying no to parties, no to fake friends, no to short-term pleasure. Not because you're boring, but because you're building. You're creating a life where you don't have to beg anyone for anything. It's not about making a quick buck. It's about building something solid, something you can rely on, something that can grow, something that doesn't disappear when the market shifts or when the trend dies out. The moment you have that, you've got peace. You've got choices. You're not stuck anymore. You don't have to tolerate a toxic job or pretend to be someone you're not. You're in control, and that feeling is worth more than any temporary comfort. Now maybe you're thinking, I don't know where to start. That's okay. Start with what you know. Start with what you can do. Start with what people already ask you for help with. Start where you are, with what you have. But start. Don't sit around waiting for perfect. Perfect never shows up. Progress does. If you put your head down and work on one thing every day for a year, you'll be stunned where it takes you. The problem is, most people won't last a month. Your life doesn't change by accident. It changes by direction. You choose a path. You commit. You bleed for it. And it rewards you. Not immediately, but eventually. And when that first income stream starts paying you every week, every month, without fail, that's when the shift happens. That's when your confidence rises. That's when the pressure starts lifting. And now you're no longer scrambling. You're building. You're free to dream again. Here's the raw truth. You won't feel motivated every day. You won't always see results right away. But you have to keep showing up. Keep refining. Keep solving real problems for real people. That's what makes money value. Not followers. Not attention. Not pretending. Real value. That's the game. And the person who stays in the game longest usually wins. It's okay if it's hard. It's okay if you struggle. It's okay if you feel overwhelmed. That doesn't mean you're failing. That means you're learning. That means you're pushing. That means you're stepping into something new. And every time you resist the urge to quit and keep showing up anyway, you grow stronger. That's what most people miss. The income grows because you grow. And when your income becomes consistent, you start to breathe differently. You start walking differently. You sleep better. You think clearer. Because for the first time, you're not surviving anymore. You're thriving. You've built something real, something that supports you, something you control. That's not just money. That's freedom. You don't need to be brilliant. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to build one income stream. One thing that works. One thing that pays you. One thing that you take seriously and show up for daily. That's the game changer. And it's not reserved for the special or the lucky. It's available to the focused, the disciplined, the relentless. That can be you. So what are you waiting for? Choose one thing and give it everything. Ignore the noise. Forget the distractions. Stop switching. Stop doubting. Show up and work. Be the person who follows through. Be the person who builds. And when it starts paying you, don't relax. Refine it. Scale it. Make it better. Make it stronger. Make it unstoppable. Because your life can change. And it won't be luck. It won't be magic. It'll be because you built one thing and made it work. And that one thing became the first step to everything else you've ever dreamed of. Now go build it. Your future is waiting. Number 3, invest your time into learning how money works. You will stay broke forever if you never learn how money actually works. That's the reality most people ignore. They work hard, they stay busy, they chase opportunities, but they never stop to study the rules of the game they're trying to win. They've got energy, they've got ambition, but they've never taken time to understand money. And what you don't understand, you can't control. What you don't study, you become a victim of. This is why some people work their whole lives and never get ahead. Not because they didn't try, but because they didn't learn. You can change your life faster than you think, but only if you stop moving blindly and start moving intelligently. That's what separates the wealthy from the struggling. Not just work ethic, but money intelligence. They know where every dollar goes. They know why it grows. They know what it grows. They know what it grows. They know how to peep it, multiply it, and make it work for them. That knowledge gives them peace. That knowledge gives them power. That knowledge makes them free. And the truth is, nobody's going to teach it to you unless you decide to go get it. Most schools don't teach it. Most families don't talk about it. Most friends don't understand it. If you want to win at this game, you've got to study it yourself. You've got to become obsessed with knowing what others ignore. Every free moment you waste scrolling, watching distractions, numbing your mind, that's time you could have invested into learning something that changes your bank account forever. You've got to realize something. Money doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't reward intentions. It doesn't respond to hope. It responds to knowledge. It rewards discipline. It answers to strategy. If you don't know how to manage it, it will manage you. If you don't direct it, it will disappear. And you'll keep wondering why it slips through your fingers, month after month, year after year. It's not bad luck. It's bad understanding. And that can be fixed. Start with this track. Every dollar you earn and every dollar you spend. You'd be shocked how many people don't even know where their money goes. They avoid their bank app. They guess their balance. They spend based on emotion, not based on logic. And then they wonder why they're anxious, overwhelmed, and stuck. You can't improve what you won't even look at. You can't build what you're afraid to face. Clarity comes from paying attention. Once you know where your money's going, you can start taking control of it. Not in a boring way, not in a restrictive way, in a powerful way, in a way that puts you back in the driver's seat. You start seeing patterns. You start noticing what's draining you. You start seeing opportunities to redirect, reduce, reinvest. You stop being the victim of your own habits, and you start becoming the architect of your future. Then you study how to make money, not just earn it, make it. What does that mean? It means learning how people create value. It means understanding how businesses work. It means paying attention to how sales, marketing, and systems generate income. You don't need to be an expert in everything, but you need to understand how money is made in this world. Because the people who understand that are never broke for long. They can rebuild, they can pivot, they can adapt, because they know the rules. You've also got to learn how money grows. This is where most people stop. They think earning is enough. But wealth is not just about earning. It's about compounding. It's about what you do after you earn. Do you spend it all? Do you waste it? Or do you invest it? Do you put it into things that appreciate over time? Do you let it sit in places where it multiplies while you sleep? That's where the real shift happens. When your money starts making more money, And this doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to become a financial wizard overnight, but you do need to start. Read the books, watch the right content, study people who've done it, pay attention to how they think, how they move, how they make decisions, not just what they do, but how they think. Because wealth is built in the mind before it shows up in the account. You've got to study the emotional side of money too, because money is tied to your mindset, to your beliefs, to your patterns. If you grew up around lack, struggle, or chaos with money, you've probably picked up fears and limits that still live in you. You might think money is evil. You might think wealth is selfish. You might feel guilty about earning more. Or you might sabotage yourself every time you get ahead. Because deep down, you don't feel worthy. That's not something a raise can fix. That's something you have to fix by facing it, healing it, and reprogramming how you relate to money. The wealthy think differently. They see money as a tool, not a god. They don't worship it. They don't fear it. They use it. They build with it. They plan with it. They protect it. That mindset is everything. You've got to rewire your thinking. So you're no longer reacting to money. You're responding with clarity, confidence, and purpose. You also need to study how money is lost. That's one of the most overlooked pieces. People think earning more solves everything. But if you don't know how money disappears through taxes, fees, poor decisions, emotional spending, scams, and uneducated risks, then you're building a leaking bucket. The more you pour in, the more it still leaks out. Smart people learn how to plug the holes first. They learn the traps. They study what not to do, and that's what keeps their wealth intact. This is about more than just making money. It's about staying rich. It's about sustaining it. It's about building a system that protects what you've earned, grows what you've built, and creates options for your future. That kind of system doesn't come from luck. It comes from study, from wisdom, from decisions made on purpose. That's how real wealth is born. And here's the key. You don't need to learn everything at once. You just need to start learning something every day. 15 minutes. One chapter, one podcast, one financial term you finally understand, one habit you improve. That adds up, that compounds, that changes the way you make decisions, the way you handle your earnings, the way you build your future. The most powerful investment you'll ever make is the one you make into your financial education. Every day you avoid it is a day you stay trapped. Every day you delay is a day you fall behind. But every day you lean in, every day you sharpen your mind. Every day you learn something new about how money actually works. You take one step closer to freedom, not survival. Freedom, the ability to choose, the ability to say no, the ability to live life on your terms. That's what's waiting for you on the other side of financial wisdom. People often ask, how do I get ahead? The answer is simple. You get ahead by thinking ahead. You stop living paycheck to paycheck, month to month, crisis to crisis. You build a plan. You get smart. You take control. You learn how to manage, grow, and multiply your income. Not by accident, not by chance, but by design. That's what turns average people into exceptional ones. Their willingness to understand the game. It's not about how much you start with. It's not about your background, your job, or your past mistakes. It's about what you choose to learn starting right now. If you choose to stay ignorant, the world will take advantage of you. But if you choose to become informed, the world opens up. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You start creating wealth where others only see work. You start winning in a way that doesn't fade. No one is going to hand this knowledge to you. You've got to hunt for it. You've got to chase it down. You've got to value it more than entertainment, more than distractions, more than comfort. Because this knowledge can make you wealthy. It can buy back your time. It can change your family's future. It can break the cycle, but only if you seek it, only if you absorb it, only if you apply it. So take the next step. Study how money works. Start small if you need to, but start today. Because the sooner you understand money, the sooner you'll stop chasing it and start controlling it. The sooner you learn the rules, the sooner you'll stop playing the losing game and start building a future you're proud of. The clock is ticking. Your future is watching. The only question is, will you stay in the dark, or will you rise with knowledge and build a life that finally makes sense? The choice is yours. Number 4, eliminate every excuse and start earning today. If you keep ignoring where your money goes, you'll keep wondering why your life isn't changing. You cannot build power without control. You cannot build wealth without awareness. The truth is, most people aren't broke because they don't make enough. They're broke because they don't respect what they already have. You work hard, you show up, you sacrifice your time. But if you're not aggressively saving and tracking every single dollar, then you're leaking power every single day. That's why your money disappears without explanation. That's why you're still stuck in a cycle of stress and scarcity. That's why it always feels like you're chasing but never catching up. You have to wake up to the fact that money won't stay with someone who doesn't protect it. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep, how intentionally you use it, and how closely you watch it. Financial freedom is not a fantasy, it's a formula, and it begins with radical discipline and brutal honesty. You cannot fix what you refuse to face. You cannot grow what you don't measure. The second you begin treating every dollar like it matters, you'll notice something strange. Your money starts listening. It starts growing. It starts working for you instead of against you. But let's be honest, saving doesn't sound sexy. Budgeting feels boring. Tracking expenses feels tedious. But you know what's worse? Living paycheck to paycheck forever. Feeling powerless every time an emergency shows up. Having dreams that never take flight because your wallet can't support your vision. That's the real pain. And if you've felt it even once, then you know this is not a game. This is your life, and you can't afford to keep pretending that things will just get better with time. Time doesn't fix bad money habits. Discipline does. You have to flip the switch in your mind that says, saving is suffering. That mindset is why you stay stuck. Saving isn't about deprivation. It's about direction. Every dollar you save is a vote for your future. Every dollar you track is a declaration that you're taking back control. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being strategic. Because when you know where your money goes, you take away its power to control you. You take back the wheel. You start driving your life instead of reacting to it. Start looking at your bank account like it's a mirror. It reflects your choices. It reflects your focus. It reflects how seriously you take your goals. If your bank balance is constantly low, that's not just a money problem. It's a mindset issue. It means you've been spending out of emotion instead of purpose. It means you've been living for comfort instead of control. And nothing will change until your attitude toward money changes. You have to decide right now that every dollar has a job. No more mindless spending. No more emotional purchases. No more swiping your card just to escape boredom. From now on, your money moves with intention. Every dollar that enters your life is tracked, is named, is directed. If you don't give your money a job, it will find its own way to leave you. It will vanish into things you don't need. It will evaporate into habits that don't serve you. And before you know it, your future gets sacrificed for a feeling that lasted 5 minutes. That's what you're really fighting. Impulse, emotion, short-term pleasure. The lie that it's just a few dollars, or I deserve this. Yes, you deserve something, but you deserve peace. You deserve freedom. You deserve to sleep at night, knowing your bills are paid, your savings are growing, your future is secure. That's the real reward, not the temporary thrill of a new gadget or a meal that's forgotten the next day. Stop trading permanent power for temporary pleasure. Stop selling your future for things that don't matter. You need to sit down and face the numbers. Open your banking app. Pull out the statements. Print them if you have to. Look at every line, every subscription, every coffee, every delivery. Ask yourself one question. Did this bring me closer to the life I want? If the answer is no, then you know what needs to change. You can't keep lying to yourself. You can't keep acting surprised when you're broke, even though you've never tracked where your money goes. You know what happens when you start tracking? You take control back. You start seeing patterns. You start catching leaks. You start making decisions that align with your vision instead of your cravings. And when you save aggressively, you create margin. You create space to breathe, space to invest, space to pivot. You stop living in survival mode. You stop being afraid of unexpected costs. You start walking with confidence, knowing that you've got a foundation under your feet. And don't tell yourself you don't make enough to save. That's another excuse. If you can afford to spend, you can afford to save. It's not about how much, it's about the habit. Even if it's $5, save it. Build the muscle. Prove to yourself that you can delay gratification, that you can say no to something now so you can say yes to something bigger later. That's the mindset of people who win. They don't wait for money to increase. They manage what they have with excellence. And because of that, more always comes. You've got to become obsessive about this. Look at your money daily. Check your progress weekly. Review your habits monthly. Make it part of your life. Make it personal. Make it emotional. Because it is. This is your time. This is your energy. This is your opportunity to finally break the cycle of just getting by. You didn't come this far just to stay stressed. You didn't work this hard just to keep repeating the same mistakes. Start today. Create a simple system. Track every expense. Categorize your spending. Set targets. Create goals. Review your savings weekly. Celebrate your discipline. Notice how powerful you feel every time you say no to what doesn't serve you. That's real freedom. That's wealth in motion. You're not just saving money. You're building character. You're not just tracking expenses. You're building intelligence. You're not just tightening your budget. You're expanding your possibilities. And when you master this, everything else changes. Your confidence goes up. Your anxiety goes down. Your vision gets clearer. Your decisions get stronger. You no longer need to fake success. You're building it from the inside out. You stop caring what others think. You stop trying to impress people who aren't watching. You start making moves that matter. You start investing in things that multiply your future, instead of robbing it. You can live with power. You can live with peace. You can live with options. But only if you start now. The longer you wait to track and save, the more ground you lose, the more money you waste, the more regret you build. Don't let another month go by in the dark. Turn on the lights. Face your numbers. Lead your finances. Be the person who knows exactly where every dollar goes. Be the one who commands their money, instead of wondering where it went. Because nobody else is going to do this for you. Not the government, not your boss, not your family. This is your job. This is your responsibility. And this is your moment. The tools are available. The knowledge is free. The power is in your hands. But you've got to act. You've got to start. You've got to commit. Not halfway. Not for a week. Fully. For life. So don't just hear this message and nod. Don't just get inspired and do nothing. Open your eyes. Get honest. Get focused. Get serious. Track every dollar. Save with intensity. Guard your money like your future depends on it. Because it does. The life you want is on the other side of the decisions you've been avoiding. But now you know. And now it's your time to act. No more drifting. No more waste. No more chaos. Start today. Take control. And never lose track again. Your future is waiting. Build it. One decision. $1. One day at a time. Number 5. Save aggressively and track where every dollar goes. If you don't respect money, it will punish you in silence and vanish before you even realize it's gone. You don't need another job. You don't need a raise. You don't need a lottery win. What you need is discipline. What you need is clarity. What you need is to stop leaking your future into things that give you zero return. The truth is brutal. Most people are not poor because of a lack of income. They're poor because they don't pay attention. They're poor because they've normalized carelessness. They've normalized comfort spending. They've normalized not knowing where their money actually goes. That mindset, it kills freedom. It delays dreams. It strangles your ability to build the life you crave. And here's the real sting. Money does not vanish. It follows instructions. It obeys your habits. If it disappears fast, it's not an accident. It's a reflection of your discipline, a mirror of your priorities. If you want more, you have to take better care of what you already have. It's not glamorous, but the truth rarely is. It's not complicated. But people love to complicate it because that lets them off the hook. But if you're serious about winning, about never going back to stress, about creating real peace, You must become obsessed with saving and tracking. That's the secret the wealthy don't brag about. They know where every dollar goes. They don't let their money wander. They don't treat their finances like a mystery. They direct it. They assign it. They give it orders. And because of that, money listens to them. But look around. How many people do you know who actually do that? How many people do you know who treat money like a soldier to be commanded? Very few, because most are too distracted by lifestyle, too emotionally attached to spending, too addicted to convenience. You want to break out? Then you need to get radical. Start treating every dollar like a brick. You either stack it and build, or you toss it and stay broke. Every dollar has energy. Every dollar has potential. But you kill that potential the moment you spend mindlessly, emotionally, or without purpose. You cannot build power in your life until you start protecting your resources. And your greatest financial power will never come from how much you make. It will come from how much you keep. That's the untold truth. There is no such thing as it's only a few dollars when you're trying to rise. That kind of thinking is why so many remain stuck for years. They underestimate the damage of the small leaks. They brush off the coffee, the subscriptions, the random takeout, the app purchases, the late fees, the idle spending. But when you add it up, it's thousands a year. Thousands that could have been invested. Thousands that could have bought peace. Thousands that could have changed the trajectory of your life. You must become ruthless with this. Ruthless in the way you observe. Ruthless in the way you track. Ruthless in the way you cut. The people who thrive financially are not always the smartest, but they are the most intentional. They respect the numbers. They respect where the money flows. They respect the future they're trying to build. You don't build financial strength by accident. You build it by daily habits. Quiet, consistent, aggressive saving, laser-sharp tracking, full honesty. So if your finances are a mess, don't blame the economy. Don't blame your job. Don't blame your background. Blame the lack of structure. Blame the absence of systems. Because structure equals freedom. When you finally sit down and create a strategy, when you finally give every dollar a name, when you finally tell your money where to go instead of wondering where it went, everything changes. It's not an instant fix, but it's a permanent shift. You'll never see money the same way again. This isn't about being cheap. This isn't about depriving yourself. This is about being smart enough to delay what doesn't serve your mission. This is about valuing future you more than the temporary thrill of another impulsive purchase. That's where confidence is born. Not from faking luxury, not from impressing people online, but from knowing you've got control, knowing your finances are stable, knowing your savings are growing. That internal security, that's priceless. Most people talk about wanting financial freedom. Few are willing to do what it takes to earn it. They want the results, but not the rigor. They want the lifestyle, but not the discipline. And so they stay stuck, spinning in circles, stressed and confused. But if you're done with that cycle, if you're truly ready to level up, then here's the path. Save like your life depends on it. Track every dollar like your future is at stake. Because it is. The habits you develop around money today will shape every decision, every opportunity, and every level of peace or pain you experience for the rest of your life. Start with one step. Track your spending for the next 7 days. Every single cent. Write it down. Categorize it. Analyze it. Don't judge it. Just face it. You can't transform what you're afraid to see. Once you see the truth, you'll know exactly where to tighten up. You'll know where your power is slipping away. And then you begin to save. Every single time money enters your life, a percentage is locked away. It's not optional. It's not negotiable. It's mandatory. Because that money isn't just for emergencies. It's for opportunities. And without savings, you miss every opportunity that comes your way. Opportunities favor the prepared. Wealth multiplies for the disciplined. Money grows for the focused, but it vanishes from the hands of the careless. This is not a mystery. It's a system. And the sooner you commit to mastering it, the sooner you'll feel the weight lift from your shoulders. You'll stop fearing bills. You'll stop panicking over expenses. You'll stop envying others, because you'll finally be building something real, something strong, something that no one can take from you. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right time. That's another trap. The right time is now. The right time is when you're tired of feeling powerless. The right time is when you're sick of watching your life pass by with nothing to show for it. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to begin. And once you start, the confidence will come. The clarity will come. The momentum will build. But only if you take that first step. Only if you take ownership. Only if you stop making excuses. It doesn't matter where you are now. What matters is whether you're ready to take control. And the best way to take control is to stop letting your money control you. You must flip the power dynamic. You must become the leader. You must become the strategist. This isn't about chasing money. It's about managing it with precision. It's about treating your income like it matters. It's about fighting for your future, like your life depends on it, because it does. You will not accidentally arrive at financial peace. You will not stumble into wealth. You will not wake up one day and magically have savings, investments, freedom. These things are built. These things are earned. These things are claimed by those who track obsessively, save religiously, and spend with purpose. You've got what it takes to become that kind of person. You've got the strength. You've got the mind. You've got the vision. Now you need the habits to match. So don't just hear this and feel inspired for a few minutes. Let this message drill into your bones. Let it shift something in you. Let it be the moment you said enough is enough. Let it be the turning point. Let it be the day you went from surviving to building, from wandering to tracking, from spending aimlessly to saving with force. You have one job from this point forward. Respect every dollar, direct every dollar, multiply every dollar, and never again let your money go anywhere without you knowing exactly why. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you build a life no one can take from you. Start now and never stop. Number 6, surround yourself with people who value wealth. If you want to transform your financial life, you must surround yourself with people who don't just talk about wealth, but actively value it, nurture it, and relentlessly pursue it. Think about the people closest to you. Who are they? What do they talk about when money comes up? Are they constantly complaining about how hard it is to get ahead? Are they satisfied with their current situation, even though deep down they know they could do more? Or are they pushing themselves, challenging each other, and looking for opportunities to grow, to expand, to create more? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That statement may sound simple, but it is the key to unlocking your potential. If you want to make wealth a reality in your life, you have to first understand the value of the people around you. Their mindset, their habits, their values, all of these things influence you more than you realize. Now ask yourself, how often are you surrounded by people who talk about money in a positive, proactive way? How often are you around those who view wealth as something to be created, something that empowers, something that gives you freedom? If you're constantly surrounded by people who think money is evil, or who believe that having money somehow makes you less of a person, you are setting yourself up for failure. Money is neutral. It's a tool. It's a means to an end. But it can't be used effectively if you don't understand it, if you don't value it, or if the people around you don't. You have to be intentional about who you allow into your life. You have to start choosing your circle based on shared values, especially when it comes to your finances. You cannot become wealthy by associating with people who value instant gratification over long-term planning. You cannot become financially free by surrounding yourself with people who are afraid to take calculated risks or who don't see the potential for abundance in their lives. It's like trying to learn how to swim while everyone around you is afraid of water. Their fear will drown you before you even get close to the edge of the pool. The reality is that your environment dictates your trajectory. If you hang out with people who are focused on self-improvement, who take their finances seriously, who view wealth as something to be built and multiplied, not something to be feared or envied, you'll find that your mindset shifts. You'll find that you naturally start thinking in a different way. Your conversations will change, your thoughts will change, and eventually your actions will change. But how do you begin to make that shift? How do you create a new environment for yourself? The first step is to understand that your current circle is not just a group of friends, it's a reflection of where you are in life. It's a mirror of your current values, habits, and mindset. And if you're serious about changing your financial future, you must be willing to let go of relationships that don't support that vision. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who was struggling with his finances for years. He wasn't broke, but he was far from rich. He would constantly complain about how hard it was to get ahead. But when he looked at his life, he realized that his friends were all in the same position. They talked about their dreams but never took action. They had no plans, no goals, no strategy. They were happy to live in their comfort zone, and in doing so they were dragging him down with them. One day he realized that his environment was keeping him stuck. He decided to make a change. He cut ties with the people who were negative, who didn't value hard work, who didn't understand the power of delayed gratification. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't instant, but soon enough, he started surrounding himself with people who thought differently. They had ambition. They had vision. They weren't afraid to invest in themselves. They weren't afraid to put in the work, to take risks, to challenge themselves. Slowly, his life began to change. His finances started improving. His mindset shifted. And most importantly, he became someone who could build wealth because the people around him believed it was possible. This story is not unique. It's not even extraordinary. It's the story of countless people who decided to take control of their future by taking control of their environment. Your network is your net worth. The people you surround yourself with will either elevate or drain your potential. And you can't afford to waste time on people who don't see wealth as a real possibility in their lives. You cannot become wealthy by hanging around people who think that financial success is only for the lucky few, or the super smart, or those born into the right circumstances. Wealth is for anyone who is willing to learn, willing to grow, and willing to take consistent, smart action. So here's the hard truth. If you're not where you want to be financially, it's time to take a hard look at the people you spend your time with. It's time to assess who is influencing your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions. It's time to make some decisions. Are you ready to surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better? People who push you to think bigger? People who don't accept excuses, but who help you create solutions? Or are you going to keep allowing yourself to be surrounded by people who hold you back? People who are comfortable in their mediocrity? The decision is yours. But I'll tell you this, if you want to become wealthy, you cannot afford to keep company with those who don't share your drive, your vision, your values. You need to seek out people who are committed to growth, who respect money as a tool, and who understand that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. When you surround yourself with individuals who value wealth, who understand its power and its purpose, you'll find that your own desire to achieve financial success intensifies. The energy of ambition is contagious. The mindset of abundance is infectious. When you spend time with people who believe that wealth is a product of hard work, smart decisions, and discipline, you will find yourself becoming more disciplined, more focused, more committed. You'll start thinking in terms of possibilities instead of limitations. You'll begin seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You'll begin making decisions that align with your goals. You'll start making the kind of moves that lead to financial freedom. Now here's the important part. As you start building a network of people who value wealth, you also need to be the type of person who adds value. Don't just seek out relationships where you're the one benefiting. Be someone who brings something to the table. Offer your wisdom, your experience, your expertise, your ideas. Be a resource. When you surround yourself with high-value individuals, make sure you're contributing in a way that enriches the group. That's how you build lasting, meaningful connections. Don't wait for someone to show up and change your life. Be the person who takes responsibility for your own growth. Choose to surround yourself with people who elevate your thinking and push you toward your potential. Your financial future depends on it. The people you spend time with are either helping you grow or holding you back. Choose wisely. Choose those who believe in wealth, not as a destination, but as a journey that's shared with others who are equally committed to achieving success. Make the decision today. Change your environment, change your circle, and watch as your financial future transforms before your eyes. Number 7, sell a real solution to a real problem. There's someone out there right now, desperate for an answer, and your solution could be the thing that saves them. But they'll never find you if you keep playing small. Most people don't realize this, but the world is flooded with noise. Everyone's shouting, everyone's promoting, everyone's trying to sell something. But what most people are missing, what most businesses, creators, and professionals never understand, is that real success doesn't come from having the loudest voice. It comes from offering something real. something that solves a painful problem in someone's life, something that speaks so directly to their struggle that it feels like you reached into their mind, pulled out their worry, and handed them the exact answer they were searching for. If you want to be wealthy, if you want to be respected, if you want to build a life of freedom, it starts with this: you must sell a real solution to a real problem. That's the only game that matters. You don't need a flashy brand. You don't need millions of followers. You don't even need to be the most talented person in your industry. What you need is a deep understanding of what someone is going through and the courage to stand up and say, I can help you. Most people spend their time trying to sell products. They focus on features, bells, whistles, shiny things. But here's the truth. People don't buy features. People buy solutions. People buy transformation. People buy hope. When someone is in pain, they are not looking for fancy words. They are looking for relief. They are searching for a way out. And if what you offer makes their problem smaller, easier, or disappear completely, you'll never struggle to make money again. But it has to be real. It has to be something you believe in, something that actually works. Because the second you try to sell something fake, the second you try to manipulate instead of serve, you lose. People can smell it. They know when someone's heart isn't in it. And when that trust is gone, it's hard to get it back. Think about this for a second. What have you been through? What have you struggled with that nearly broke you, but didn't? What pain did you have to solve in your own life that gave you wisdom, grit, and understanding? That's your power. That's your gold. Because if you had to fight your way through it, there are millions of others still in the fight. And they're not looking for a guru. They're looking for someone who understands. They're looking for someone who's been where they are and made it to the other side. The best solutions are born from real pain. The most powerful businesses start from the desire to serve. And the people who win long-term, with legacy and impact, are the ones who build their life around fixing something that actually matters to someone else. But here's where most people get stuck. They think they have to be perfect. They think they have to wait until they have every detail figured out before they start helping others. That's a lie. The truth is, you just have to be a few steps ahead. If you've walked through the fire and come out stronger, you already have what someone else needs. Don't waste time waiting to be ready. Start now. Start raw. Start honest. Let your story become your solution. Let your experience become your product. You don't need to sell hype. You don't need to promise overnight miracles. What you need is to understand your people so well that they feel like you're speaking directly to them. Understand their fears. Understand what keeps them up at night. Understand what they silently wish for, but don't say out loud. And then craft your offer around that. Build your message to meet their mind where it is, not where you wish it was. That's where the connection happens. That's where the trust begins. And once you have their trust, everything changes. Because now you're not just another person selling something. You're the person they believe in. And when someone believes in you, they'll follow you. They'll support you. They'll tell others about you. They'll become your biggest advocate. Not because you manipulated them, but because you delivered. You gave them something that worked. You helped them move forward. You solved a real problem. If you want to win in life, you must be obsessed with results. Not likes, not followers, not validation. Results. Ask yourself every single day, am I solving someone's pain? Am I making someone's life better, easier, freer, more joyful, more stable, more powerful? If the answer is yes, you will never be broke. If the answer is yes, you will always be valuable. There are millions of people right now drowning in confusion, in frustration, in fear. They're searching for something that can pull them out. And you might be the person who holds the key. But if you don't step up, if you don't have the courage to put your solution into the world, those people suffer longer than they need to. It's not just about your income. It's about your impact. So let's get practical. If you want to build something that matters, you must begin with one thing: clarity. What problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? How does your solution make their life better? Be so clear on these answers that you can say them in your sleep. If your message is foggy, confused, or generic, you will be ignored. But if your message is sharp, specific, and personal, you will cut through the noise like a knife. Second, you must show proof. Talk is cheap. Anyone can make claims, but results speak louder than words. Show what you've done. Show who you've helped. Show what has changed because of what you offer. Let people see the transformation, not just in theory, but in action. That's how you build trust. That's how you create believers. Third, make it simple. People are overwhelmed. They don't want a 50-step process. They want clarity. They want ease. They want direction. Take their hand. Walk them through the journey. Make it so obvious, so intuitive, so effortless to understand that they feel safe taking the first step with you. Because once they take that step, and it works, they'll take the next, and the next, and the next. And fourth, never forget why you started. The road won't be easy. There will be doubt. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you question everything. But if what you offer is real, if your solution truly helps people, then you have a duty to keep going. Not just for you, but for every person who is waiting for what only you can give them. There's nothing more powerful than being the person who solves a painful problem for someone else. That's what legacy is built on. That's what wealth grows from. That's what purpose feels like. And you don't need to be famous to do it. You just need to be real. You need to be relentless. You need to be willing to serve so deeply, so consistently, so passionately, that the world cannot ignore you. So what are you waiting for? Someone out there is stuck, hurting, afraid, frustrated, confused, and they need you. Not someday, not later. Now they need your solution. They need your clarity. They need your story. They need your strength. And all it takes is one decision from you to step into that role, fully, powerfully, unapologetically. If you're ready to change your life and the lives of others, stop trying to impress and start solving. Stop trying to look successful and start being useful. Find a real problem, build a real solution, and sell it with everything you've got. That's how you win. That's how you live. That's how you live with purpose. Now go, build it, share it, sell it, and never forget the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more solutions. Be the one who provides them. Number 8, study wealthy people and copy their best habits. You don't need to reinvent success. You just need to learn from those who've already built it, refined it, and lived it every single day. Right now, there are people walking this earth who have cracked the code. They've figured out how to turn time into leverage, how to make their money work harder than they do, how to stay focused while the world drowns in distraction. And the truth is, they aren't keeping their secrets locked away. Their lives are open books for anyone willing to pay attention. But most won't. Most people would rather guess. They'd rather trust their feelings, their assumptions, or the opinions of people who are just as broke as they are. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. Because they don't model the right people. There is a brutal reality in life. You can either learn through pain, or you can learn through example. The wealthy, they learn through both. But if you're smart, you'll take the shortcut. You'll watch what they do and let it shape how you operate every day. Because success leaves clues, and those clues are in the details most people overlook. Wealthy people don't just work harder, they work smarter. They don't waste energy chasing distractions. They wake up with a mission, they move with discipline, and they make decisions based on long-term impact, not short-term emotion. And it's not luck, it's not privilege, it's not even timing, it's habits. Habits they've built, protected, and sharpened like weapons. You want to build a different life? Copy those habits. Don't just admire them. Don't just listen to their interviews or highlight their quotes. Replicate how they think, how they plan, how they react under pressure. Most people don't realize how much power they've handed away just by not being intentional with their time. Watch a wealthy person closely, and you'll see that their calendar is sacred. They don't just let anyone have their energy. They don't wake up hoping to feel motivated. They wake up committed to execution. That's a habit you can adopt right now. Structure your day with purpose. Eliminate the fluff. Build routines that reinforce clarity and momentum. This is how the wealthy stay sharp, even when the world around them is chaotic. Look at their relationships. Wealthy people are ruthless with their circle. They don't entertain laziness. They don't surround themselves with victims or complainers. They understand that proximity is power. If you spend time with people who normalize excuses, guess what you'll become? But if you spend time with people who normalize ambition, who push you to think bigger, who hold you to higher standards, you rise. Not by chance, by influence. Copy that. Audit your circle. Who drains you? Who sharpens you? Make the hard cuts. Replace them with people who operate at the level you aspire to reach. Their discipline is different too. They don't rely on feelings to drive action. They use systems. Whether it's managing their money, maintaining their health, or investing their time, wealthy people have systems that keep them consistent. They track, they measure, they refine. That's not glamorous, but it's effective. You want to get ahead? Build systems in your own life. Start with how you budget, how you study, how you spend your mornings. Don't just wing it. Get precise. Treat your life like a high-performance machine, because that's exactly what it becomes when you apply the right habits with consistency. Study how they think. The most important asset of the wealthy isn't their money. It's their mindset. They see failure differently. They treat setbacks as data, not defeats. They expect resistance, but they move anyway. They don't let fear stop them. They question everything, especially their own limitations. That mindset is learned, not inherited. You can adopt it. You can train your mind to see obstacles as growth opportunities. You can rewire how you respond to stress, but only if you study those who've already done it and mirror their mental patterns. They also read relentlessly. They feed their mind because they understand that one good idea, one shift in perspective, can unlock a new level of success. They're not entertained by distractions. They're fueled by insight. They don't just read to feel smart. They read to stay ahead. If you want to play this game seriously, you need to treat your mind like a muscle. Read what they read. Learn what they learn. Keep your mind sharper than your doubts. Watch how they treat money. It's not just about making more. It's about multiplying it. Wealthy people respect every dollar because they understand what it can become. They invest in assets, not liabilities. They delay gratification. They build streams of income that flow even when they sleep. They use money to buy freedom, not status. If you're serious about growth, copy that philosophy. Stop chasing luxury and start chasing leverage. Start making decisions based on return, not reaction. They also protect their health. Because what's the point of having money if you're too exhausted or sick to enjoy it? You'll notice wealthy people eat with intention, move their bodies, sleep with discipline. They know energy is currency. They know clarity comes from a clean mind and a strong body. If you're burning out, sluggish, or foggy, it's not a motivation problem. It's a health problem. Start copying their commitment to vitality. Your energy will determine your edge. Their emotional intelligence is another level. They stay calm under pressure. They don't react. They respond. They don't let temporary emotions destroy long-term progress. They know how to control their state, manage their thoughts, and lead with logic. These are skills anyone can develop. You don't have to be born with emotional control. You can build it. But you have to study those who've already mastered it. You have to mimic their calm, their decisiveness, their ability to stay focused while others fall apart. Wealthy people also play the long game. They're patient. They're strategic. They don't need everything now because they trust their process. That's why they win. While others are chasing trends, they're building foundations. While others want quick cash, they're planting seeds for generational wealth. You can do the same, but only if you adopt their perspective. Long-term thinking in a short-term world gives you an unfair advantage. Use it. Here's the bottom line. Everything you want is being practiced by someone else right now. Everything you dream of, freedom, success, control, impact, is the byproduct of consistent habits. And those habits are visible. You just have to study them. You just have to observe, adapt, and apply. You don't need to guess. You need to model. You don't need to be original. You need to be effective. This is the part most people miss. They want to feel inspired, but they don't want to be instructed. They want motivation, but not structure. That's a trap. Because if you want different results, you have to act differently. And the fastest way to act differently is to surround yourself, mentally and physically, with people who are already where you want to be. Let them show you. Let them influence you. Let their habits rub off on you until excellence becomes your new normal. Make no mistake, this isn't about imitation. It's about elevation. When you copy the habits of the wealthy, you're not trying to become them. You're unlocking the version of you that already has what they have. That version of you exists. It's waiting to be activated. And the key is in what you do daily, what you tolerate, what you prioritize, what you repeat. So decide now. No more winging it. No more wasting time. No more waiting for someone to save you. The map is in front of you. Wealthy people have already walked the path. All you have to do is follow it with relentless consistency. Study them, Copy their mindset. Copy their focus. Copy how they invest. Copy how they think. Copy how they react when things fall apart. Copy how they recover. Copy their standards. Because if you do what they do long enough, you'll have what they have. You don't need to be born rich. You don't need a perfect background. You need discipline. You need humility. You need the courage to admit that someone else has figured it out better. And the commitment to follow their lead. That's how you change your life. That's how you build wealth. That's how you become the person who once seemed impossible to become. Start now. Watch closely. Learn deeply. Apply immediately. And remember this, success is never an accident. It's the outcome of the right habits, repeated long enough to become your identity. Choose wisely, because what you do today echoes in the results you live with tomorrow. Number 9, use your free time to create new income. Every minute you spend not building something for yourself is a minute you'll never get back. And the hard truth is, most people waste hours every single day on things that don't move the needle, scrolling, watching, consuming. But imagine if you took that same time, that same energy, and channeled it into something that could pay you for years to come. What if your free time wasn't just free? It was fertile ground for building your future. The reality is, free time is a luxury, but it can also be a tool, and how you choose to use it determines if you stay stuck or if you break free. Right now, you've got time. Whether it's a couple of hours in the evening or a weekend with no plans, you have time that you're probably underestimating. The problem is, most people see their free time as break time, a time to rest, to recharge. But here's the thing. While you're resting, someone else is working. While you're scrolling, someone else is building. While you're waiting for the perfect moment, someone else is making moves. That's the game, and those are the stakes. Every hour you waste is an opportunity slipping away, and you don't get these hours back. So what if you could take the time that everyone else spends mindlessly and turn it into money? What if you could use that so-called free time to create something that will last, something that will generate income long after the moment has passed? That's not a dream. It's a decision. It's a choice. You don't have to be a millionaire to make money in your spare time. You don't need a business degree. You don't need investors, and you don't need to work 18-hour days. What you need is the discipline to use your time wisely. It's all about shifting your mindset. Instead of thinking, I'm free, I'm going to relax, you start thinking, I'm free, I can create. It's as simple as that. Now let's get real. The most successful people in the world aren't the hardest workers. They're the smartest ones. They use every minute to their advantage. They use their free time as a launch pad. They leverage their energy to build something bigger than themselves. But here's the kicker. They're not working non-stop. They're just working differently. They understand that free time isn't an excuse to rest. It's an opportunity to grow. Think about it for a second. The world is changing fast. The opportunities that are out there today weren't around just 5 years ago. The digital world has created a landscape where anyone from any background can create something that generates income. All you need is a plan. The kind of plan that uses your downtime as fuel. When most people finish their workday, they clock out mentally. They're done. They see it as the end. But the successful see it as the beginning. They understand that their 9 to 5 is only the foundation, not the finish line. That's when the real work starts. Because that's when they have the time to build something that works for them, not the other way around. They use their free time to build their dreams. They use it to develop a side hustle. They write that book they've been thinking about for years. They start that podcast. They create content. They build a brand. They leverage their skills. And guess what? They don't wait for the perfect time. They use the time they already have. This is where it gets interesting. Creating new income streams doesn't require you to break the bank. It doesn't require huge upfront costs. You don't need a big office, a team, or massive resources. You need creativity, dedication, and an open mind. You need to be willing to look at the world through the lens of opportunity rather than limitation. One of the easiest ways to create income in your spare time is by monetizing your knowledge. If you know something, anything, there's someone out there who's willing to pay for it. You can start teaching online, whether it's a specific skill like coding, design, or writing, or something more niche like gardening, photography, or fitness. Someone needs your expertise. You can create an online course, host webinars, write a book, or start a blog. Every single day, people are looking for solutions to their problems. And guess what? You have solutions to offer. If teaching isn't your thing, consider starting a blog or YouTube channel. The world is hungry for content. People want to know what you know, hear what you think, and experience what you live. You don't need to be an expert in anything. You just need to be passionate, consistent, and willing to put in the effort. When you create content, whether it's video, written articles, or podcasts, you build a platform. And that platform has the potential to generate income through ads, affiliate marketing, sponsorships, or product sales. The beauty of using free time to create new income is that it's scalable. You don't just make money once, you make money over and over again. When you create content, it keeps working for you long after you publish it. A blog post written today can generate traffic and income for years. A YouTube video uploaded this week can still bring in views and ad revenue a year from now. That's what makes this so powerful. You're building assets. You're creating something that compounds. You're planting seeds that grow into long-term wealth. But let's be honest, there's a huge barrier here. Most people look at their free time and think, I'm too tired. I just want to relax. I need a break. And look, I get it. Rest is important. But here's what most people don't understand. Building wealth isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. The successful know that their downtime is the perfect opportunity to create something that will outlast them. But that takes a shift in mindset. That takes turning your energy from passive to active. Start small. Use an hour a day. That's all it takes. An hour of writing, creating, researching, or learning. Start building your skills, your network, your platform. And over time, that hour will turn into 2, then 3. That's how you build momentum. That's how you build a new income stream. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And when it does, it changes everything. Because now, instead of trading time for money, you're making your time work for you. But here's the catch. It requires consistency. There's no magic formula, no shortcuts, no overnight success. You have to show up every day. You have to invest in yourself. You have to take those small moments of free time and turn them into a foundation for long-term financial freedom. It's the difference between being passive with your time or being strategic with it. So what are you going to do with your free time? Are you going to keep wasting it, hoping that someday things will change on their own? Or are you going to take control of it? Start building something that serves you and make your money work for you. The choice is yours. Start right now. Look at your calendar. Look at your daily schedule. Find those pockets of time that you're wasting and reclaim them. Take action, no matter how small. Commit to creating. Because in the end, your future self will thank you for every hour you spent working toward the life you want. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to use your free time to create something that will change your life forever. Number 10. Upgrade your skills and charge what you're worth. You are worth more than you think. Right now, you may be undercharging yourself, undervaluing what you bring to the table, and that's holding you back. It's not just your financial situation that's suffering. It's your potential, your confidence in your future. You have skills, knowledge, and expertise that can change lives. But unless you recognize their value, no one else will. So let me ask you something. What are you waiting for? Why are you still playing small? Why are you still settling for less? It's time to upgrade your skills. And I mean really upgrade them so that you can charge what you're truly worth. The world is out there waiting for what you have to offer. And the longer you hold back, the longer you let fear control your income and your impact. You've got the talent, but without the proper skills and mindset, you won't see the rewards you deserve. But the moment you decide to upskill, to refine your craft, to learn at the highest level, the doors to abundance open. When you upgrade your skills, you're not just investing in knowledge, you're investing in your freedom. Here's the truth. No one is going to pay you what you're worth until you first decide that you're worth it. But here's the kicker. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need anyone to tell you it's okay. The moment you upgrade your skills, the moment you level up, you're sending a message to the world that you're serious. That's when the game changes. And guess what? When the world sees you taking yourself seriously, they will too. Upgrading your skills is the best way to break through the plateau you've been stuck on. It's the best way to move from getting by to thriving. Because the truth is, every industry is evolving. The market doesn't wait for you to catch up. If you're standing still, others are passing you by. They're learning new skills, adapting and innovating. And guess what? They're charging more for it. They're getting paid handsomely because they've taken the time to develop the expertise that people are willing to pay for. So what's holding you back from doing the same? I know it feels intimidating. The thought of upgrading your skills can be overwhelming. Maybe you're wondering, do I even have the time to learn something new? But here's the thing. The time is always there. You don't need to make a huge, dramatic change all at once. You don't need to turn your life upside down. All you need to do is commit to getting better every single day. Just 1% improvement every day can set you on a path to a completely transformed life. The small steps you take today will compound over time. And before you know it, you'll have a set of skills that are so valuable. You won't believe you ever settled for less. When you invest in upgrading your skills, you're not just acquiring knowledge. You're positioning yourself to command higher rates. Think about it when you can solve bigger problems. The rewards are bigger too. You see, your worth isn't defined by your job title or the hours you work. Your worth is defined by the problems you solve and the value you bring to others. The more valuable you are, the more you can charge. But you can't increase your value without increasing your knowledge. It's that simple. Now let's talk about a few ways to actually start upgrading your skills. Because it's one thing to say you need to level up, and another thing entirely to take action. First, ask yourself this. What skills do you already have that you could refine, expand, or improve? What gaps do you have in your current skill set? Is there a new technology or industry trend that you could learn and master? Is there a certification, degree, or special training that would set you apart from others? The key is to not just be good at what you do, become exceptional. When you become exceptional at something, you make yourself irreplaceable. When you're irreplaceable, you set your own price. Your skill set becomes your personal brand. People don't just hire you, they seek you out, they pay a premium for your expertise, and they want you in their corner because you've become the go-to person in your field. Look at the highest earners in any industry. They didn't get there by resting on their laurels. They didn't get there by continuing to do the same things they were doing 10 years ago. They got there by constantly learning, growing, and pushing their limits. They made the decision to be the best at what they do, and they made that decision every single day. But upgrading your skills isn't just about staying competitive. It's about taking your confidence to a whole new level. When you know you've done the work, when you know you're a master of your craft, you carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You interact with others with authority and conviction because you know your worth. And that confidence translates into everything you do, how you negotiate, how you sell, and how you charge for your services. And let me be clear, confidence in your skills isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. When you know your worth, you don't sell yourself short. You don't let fear hold you back from asking for what you deserve. You don't apologize for being good at what you do. You don't undercharge or overwork yourself because you're afraid someone might say no. No, you stand firm in your value because you know that the work you put out into the world is worth every penny. You've earned that right. So how do you take the first step in upgrading your skills? The first thing you need to do is commit. You need to stop making excuses and start making it a priority. It's not about finding the perfect time to learn. It's about making the time to learn, no matter what. You can start small. There are online courses, webinars, books, podcasts, and other resources available that can teach you the skills you need. Pick something that excites you and dive in. The best part, you can do it on your own time. There's no need to wait for a formal class or wait for the perfect circumstances. You can start today. As you begin to invest in yourself, don't be afraid to ask for help. Seek out mentors, coaches, or communities that will push you to do your best. Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be and learn from them. Ask questions, get feedback, and be open to constructive criticism. It's through this process of constant learning and growing that you'll truly unlock your potential. Now, once you start upgrading your skills, there's no turning back. The value you provide will increase, and as your skills improve, you'll start charging what you're really worth. And let me tell you, this isn't just about money. This is about freedom. When you charge what you're worth, you're no longer bound by a fixed salary or hourly rate. You're no longer negotiating from a place of desperation. You're in control. You're building the life you want, not the life someone else decides for you. Upgrading your skills is a mindset shift. It's about understanding that your value isn't fixed. It's dynamic. It's growing, evolving, and becoming more powerful every day. It's about taking control of your future and making sure that your skills and your income reflect the true value of the work you do. So let's recap. Start by committing to growth every day. Identify areas where you can level up and fill in the gaps. Be consistent and stay disciplined. Ask for help and learn from others who have already been where you want to go. Charge what you're worth and watch how your life transforms. The bottom line is this: you are not charging enough. You are worth more than you're getting. And the only thing standing between you and your next level is the decision to upgrade your skills. Make that decision today. Make that commitment to yourself and watch as everything changes.